I feel like discrimination has gotten out of hand. I was discriminated against twice tonight in less than 2 hours. Let me explain while I take off the makeup that I covered myself in to appease the public eye, to get hired at jobs that I really don't even want.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got some disingenuous folk. Over here, man. You know, who's pretty much trying to change, you know, how reality really works, right? But before we get into that, man, do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. So, man, you know, like I said, we got these two ladies here, you know, who are covered with tattoos, right? Now, when I was younger, right? Back when I was, I'm gonna tell you a little story, right? Back when I was a junior in high school, right? And I'm gonna show y'all a picture of me. This is a picture of me, my junior year in high school. Y'all see the long hair that I had. Well, I wouldn't even say it's long hair, but y'all see the little afro, the little twist in my hair. Now, mind you, I was not working at that time. Like, football was my only job, right? Football was my only job. I live, I breathe, and I eat, sleep football. Everything was football, right? So now, mind you, this is why I say it's good to have a village, right? It's always good to have a village. It's always good to have an elder there with some wisdom to talk to you. So all my uncles, you know, they're constantly looking at me. My father, my aunties, all of them looking at me, giving me hell every single week. Dude, look at your hair. Dude, you look unrecruitable. Dude, if you try to get a job, nobody's gonna want to hire you. Dude, this, boo, bing. All because of how my hair looks, right? So they was trying to instill that into me at a very young age, right? I wouldn't even say that was a very young age, but they were trying to let me know, hey, dude, once you get into the real world, you know, this idea that, you know, a lot of y'all, you know, youngins can just sit over here and just dress and act however y'all want, and y'all think y'all could just get what y'all want in the process of doing it. It doesn't work that way. So this is where, you know, they were teaching us proper etiquette, ethics, you know, teaching us professionalism. Hey, cut your hair off, dress properly, learn how to talk, right? My grammar ain't the best, but learn how to talk, and you will be able to get the job that you're looking for, right? You'll be able to get the job that you're looking for. But before they do any of that, if somebody is trying to help you get a job, right? And before you do any of that, you're about to do a job interview. And you have somebody that's an elder or somebody, man, with experience, with work experience. You never worked, you never did a job interview. What would they tell you? They would tell you, hey, number one, you're gonna want to look presentable.
This stream is for black men. Everybody's welcome, in particular, millennials and zennials, okay? Last night, Brother O'Shea Duke Jackson did a show with Steve the Dean Williams. He said black men need to cut their hair if they want to work for white people, if they wanted to move up the corporate ladder. And we're going to get into it. When I was an entry-level manager, I hired 16 people. When I was a national account manager, I had 12 direct reports. I've been a pre-IPO stockholder in companies. See, what I'm talking about is a lot of stuff that I never hear guys on YouTube talk about. Entry-level dudes. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm an image consultant and a corporate image consultant, meaning right now I work with companies who have a corporate brand, and that's what sits at the top of anything for a company. Black men, if you want to move up into upper management, you are going to have to cut your dreads. You're going to have to become clean cut and represent the brand. See, a lot of black brothers think this is selling out. No, it's called buying in.
Right, you're gonna want to look presentable, right? If you have tattoos, you're gonna want to cover those up, right? For black men, if you have hair, if you have a lot of hair on your head, you're gonna want to cut that off. Why? Because it comes with a negative stigma. It comes with a perception, right? This channel is all about perception. Perception is key. So if there's no way you're gonna go to an interview sagging, right? And I'm talking about black men. There's no way you're gonna go to an interview sagging with Jordans, right? With dreads and some tattoos. on your face or on your neck. And there's no way you think you're going to get a job looking like that. There's no way you're going to get a job looking like that. Even your mothers that are in the hood, even your black men that are in the hood, even some of those, even some of your elders will tell you, you still have to look a certain way. You still have to look presentable. That's why when you look at a lot of your black men who make it out of the hood and who's doing something for themselves, they get way more accolades than they would a man who pretty much grew up with it, who grew up having money, or who grew up not in a bad situation. A lot of you guys who grow up in the hood, they grow up in bad situations. So a lot of them, they're going to see a lot of stuff. But when you see them excelling, when you see them owning companies and doing all this extra stuff, and they're very presentable. I'm talking about your ones who actually work. The one that was in the hood, was wearing the same clothes every day, to now they own their own business, and you can't even tell that they are from the hood. They look like just regular black men. Like you could tell, like, okay, he probably went to school, he probably grew up in a good life, yada yada yada. But when you look at his backstory, you're like, okay, yeah, this dude, he really been through something. But the fact that he went from the hood, and the fact that he has this much money, the fact that he was able to accomplish this much, it says a lot about him. So what makes you think, right? What makes you think you can just sit up here, right? You can just sit up here and just dress however you want, act however you want, and then get a job interview? What makes you think you can just sit over here and have tattoos all on your face, around your neck, and all that stuff, and think you're gonna get a job? You're not. Once again, people who have tons of tattoos, if you have somebody with wisdom or an adult or whatever, they will tell you, yeah, you got a lot of those tattoos, cover them up before you go into an interview. Every time, right? Every time. And this stuff will never go away. This stuff will never go away because you have companies who operate off of character. You have businesses who operate off of personalities, off of common fucking sense, right? How can you sit over here and have different color hair and sitting over here with tons of tattoos on your face? How do you think you're going to get anywhere in life? How do you think how do you think people will take you seriously if you have all of this stuff all on your face? Can't nobody take you serious. Nobody will say, yeah, you know what? I can be serious with this woman with all these tattoos, and you got tatted eyeballs. Like, what in the world? And you think a Fortune 500 company will want you to be a part of that? And then on top of that, like, it doesn't make any sense. So you got these two ladies here, right? They're probably a part of that community. You got these two ladies over here who are upset because they didn't get a job. And one of them says, man, you know, like, these people are denying me, and I didn't even want to work there. So why did you sign up in the first place? Right? Why did you sign up in the first place? You didn't want to work there because you knew you wasn't going to get the job.
I feel like discrimination has gotten out of hand. I was discriminated against twice tonight in less than 2 hours. Let me explain while I take off the makeup that I covered myself in to appease the public eye, to get hired at jobs that I really don't even want. It's just something for me to get out of the house, you know?
So the company discriminated against you. Ain't that something? Let's look at this next one.
This woman did not get a job after her interview, but she managed to guess what went wrong.
Hey guys, update. I didn't get the job. I just got the email. I'm guessing my appearance had a lot to do with it.
Do you think the interviewers were fair to her?
So just off the strength of that, right? So after looking at those two videos, let's look at some of the comments for that first video that we saw, right? So the first comment says, this is so funny, man, because it pretty much sums up how society thinks. It pretty much sums up the liberals, right? It really sums up how liberals think. So he's saying this is probably what people are telling her and asking her before she got those tattoos on her face. Aren't you worried about getting a job or what others think? So this is what she says. No, I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm expressing myself how I want to. Oh, okay. You can't work here. right? This is what the company is saying. The company is telling her, well, okay, well, you can't work here, right? So now she says, this is discrimination. This isn't fair, right? So then the guy ended up saying, I think if you know the risk and did it anyways, you're not allowed to play victim. Facts, right? Somebody else says, title should be, woman gets emotional after finding out actions do indeed have consequences, right? So let's go ahead and look at some of the comments, man, off that first comment that they had, right? So then somebody else says, everyone deserves a chance no matter their appearance, their religion, and their background, right? So once again, more of your liberals and more of your disingenuous behavior. Everybody deserves a second chance. Not everybody deserves a second chance. It's just point blank period, right? It's just point blank period. The reason not everybody deserves a second chance is just because in situations like this, she already knew what time it was. This is what I'm saying. A lot of you people know what time it is. Hey, well, guess what? I'm not, hey, guess what? Well, I'm a woman and I understand that there are tons and tons of bad men out here. And I know that if I keep wearing piss poor clothing, I'm going to become a target for a lot of these creeps, right? But women don't care about that. They'll still say, hey, well, these men still need to accept me, because if they don't, if these men still looking at me crazy, if these men are doing this, these men are doing that, they're misogynistic, they're creeps, they're this, they're that, they're predators. I mean, they're just gonna throw all types of names towards the man, right? Instead of just simply doing what you're supposed to do to avoid that situation. So guess what? You got this situation here where people are telling her, hey man, look, don't sit over here, man, and put all that stuff on your face. Hey man, your chances of getting a job and having a pretty successful life is going to be very slim if you have tattoos all over your face when you're trying to get in some of these corporate jobs. But a lot of you people don't care. So they're going to sit over here and say, well, whatever, I don't care. Just because of how I look, it doesn't determine my character. It doesn't determine who I am. But at the end of the day, people perceive you a certain way on how you dress and how you act. If you act like a dummy, people are going to perceive you to be a dummy. If you sitting over here acting like this, I mean, they're perceiving her to be a dummy. Because why are you sitting over here having why are you dressed the way you're dressing and getting upset that people are saying something to you? Why do you have all these tattoos on your face and getting upset when the job sit over here and say, well, we don't want you? Now you're trying to sit over here and throw it out, trying to throw out that it's misogyny. Now you're trying to throw out that it's discrimination. How? Because because you have something on your face that is inappropriate for my company? How you gonna tell a company who they can and can't hire? Same thing here. So you're gonna say it's discrimination here because they're saying, hey, well, we don't want you a part of our company, and you know why. Then you have women who sit over here and dress however they want, knowing that they're creeps out here, and then when the creeps look at them, then all of a sudden, oh, well, they're pedos and they're creeps, or this is why women are scared. And stop it, right? Stop it. A lot of you people put yourselves in positions that is unfavorable for you. And this is what I mean by, hey, I like talking about red pill and manosphere. I'm glad I joined this community because we're going to expose a lot of this BS. So y'all do me a favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe.